right in the kisser.
Hey, how the devil are you? Why are you order? Right, what have we got today? We got this. This is the SMSL PL150, the new desktop CD player. But before we go on, let's address the elephant in the room. Not that elephant. Come on. Off you go. Right, bye. There we are. Right. So, a few days ago, I watched a video by a big YouTuber who said that they'd had a message or an email from an employee of SMSL, a disgruntled employee. Now, for me, straight away, that would start alarm bells ringing. Disgruntled, right? Saying that they're putting car CD mechanisms in their CD players. And what? So, right? Big deal. But he also claimed that they're using second-hand mechanisms. Well, first of all, I wouldn't trust a message from a disgruntled employee. You know what I mean, right? And secondly, how do you know that was an employee of SMSL? It could have been a competitor, pretending to be an ex-employee. You don't know, do you? So before you start casting aspersions, you should really do some more investigating, I think. Now, funnily enough, the video has been taken down. I can't find it, or perhaps I'm missing it. I did look, I couldn't find it. It's no longer there, I think. So I don't know what to make of that. But first of all, let's get the lid off and have a look inside. Okay, and here it is with its lid off. Now, if you look up this lettering here, CDM-M10, and you put that into any search engine, and it comes up, this is indeed a car CD player. Now, is it new or is it used out of an old car? Well, to me, it looks fine. I can't see any damage to it, any scratches to it, nothing that indicates it's second-hand or used. And also, if you put that into a search engine, it comes up with loads of these brand new. So I don't think why would they take them out of second-hand cars when they can just buy them? I know it'd be cheaper, but it's not like they're running out of stock. There's plenty online they can buy. Now, it does have a few little marks here, pen marks, okay? That normally means there's a technician going around checking a few bits. Now, that couldn't be nothing nefarious. That could just be, like, it's got a QC stamp here. So, a quality control stamp. So, it stands to reason that a good company would check their devices whether they're new or not. So, that's a good sign, isn't it, that it's QC checked. The only one I could find with the exact same lettering with NSPX and 868C GZ004 was on Amazon. And that one is going for like over 100 quid. I doubt SMSL are buying these for 100 quid each. It just wouldn't be cost effective. But that's the only one with the exact lettering that I could find. And also the one which says scrap if dropped. It's on Amazon. I think Amazon Japan, I think I found one as well with the exact same lettering and numbering. There are loads out there which look very, very similar, but nothing with the exact serial numbers. It looks like it's implemented to the board well, and that's what's important. The board looks really well made, decent enough, you know, considering the price. There's your Cirrus Logic DAC there. The CS43198, boink, right there. So it all looks fine to me. And who's to say that there's a lot more slot loading CD players in our homes that have car transport systems in it, car CD mechanisms in them? Who's to say there aren't? Has anybody taken the lid off to have a look? So there you go. So all looks fine to me. I don't see a problem with them using a car CD mechanism, as long as it works well. And I've had a lot of cars for a number of years, and I've played CDs in them over and over, hundreds of thousands of times, okay? And it's never, you know, I'm sure that some do go wrong, but I've never had an issue with a car CD player. So they're pretty robust anyway. So there you go. You make your own minds up.
It's also worth mentioning that, if SMSL were trying to hide the fact that they were using car CD mechanisms, they would have likely removed the label.
And there you go. So it doesn't look like SMSL's trying to hide anything. We've all seen companies ripping off stickers and scraping off the model numbers of certain components. You don't know what they are. But it doesn't seem like SMSL is trying to hide anything. So there you go. As long as it sounds good and plays well, who gives a stuff? Right, so with that being said, let's bring you in for a closer look. Okay, so here's the front of it. Got the slot there where the CD goes in. There's some material in there. I think it looks like felt or something to stop the CD scratching when it goes in and out. Here you have stop and eject. This has 3 functions, or 4 functions I should say. So you've got play, pause, on and off. So you just hold it for 2 seconds to turn it on and off. Then you've got rewind and forward, or skip back, skip forward, doubles up as that. You've got the volume here. The volume is only for the headphones. It's good to see headphones on there, you know, for people who just want to listen to the CD only and don't have anything else but headphones. So it's good to see them on there. It won't blow your head off, okay? It's 60 milliwatts per channel, 120 RMS. If you've got some hard to drive planar magnetics, you may struggle with these. Some easy to drive dynamic drivers, you should be fine. Right, so let's just play a CD. Let's whack it on a second. So hold it, it should come on. There you go. There's your display on the right. Let's pop in a CD. Now I'm going to use a bit of Pete Tong. The reason I'm using this album is because I want to show you something. This album actually, there's no gaps. It mixes, each track mixes in with each other. Okay, so there's no gaps. And unfortunately, this CD player isn't gapless. However, the gap is absolutely tiny. It must be half a second gap. It is very, very close, but not quite gapless. Let me set it up and I'll give you a demo. I'm not sure if you caught it. It's such a small gap. Sometimes you might miss it. Okay, it's a very tiny gap. But there we are. It's got a remote control. Decent enough. Standard remote. It's all plastic. Some of the functions don't work. That, and that. They serve no purpose. But on here you do have your continuous play or random play on here. Okay, let's knock it off. And have a little look around the back. Okay, on the back, you've got your RCA out, coaxial out, optical out. I do like to have these. If you want to connect them to an external DAC, you can. So if you at some point in the future you want to change the DAC, you can connect it here. Now, the power in. So it comes with this power lead here, okay? USB to, it's on a barrel connection, I suppose. This is only 1 meter long, this cable. I would have liked to have seen it at least 1.5 meters. 1 meter is a bit short, a little bit too short for me. Anyway, but there we are. Now, be aware, this says 5 volt, 2 amp. Don't be tempted to just pick up any old plug that you charge your phone with and say, this'll be fine, this'll be all right. This'll be fine, it'll be fine. Make sure it's the right specs, okay? You're okay if it's a 5 volt, 3 amp. This will only pull the current it needs. So if you go 1 amp higher, that's absolutely fine. Some fast chargers have 5 volt, 3 amps. This plug is a 5 volt, 2 amp, so it's fine. but some charging plugs are only 5 volt 1 amp or 5 volt 1.5 amps. Now this will still try and pull 2 amps from that plug. So the least that'll happen is you probably damage your device. But the worst that can happen is the plug will overheat and catch fire, which you don't want. So don't be tempted just to pick up any old plug, okay? Make sure you check the specs and it's at least 5 volt 2 amp. Don't listen to him. Just get a 1 amp, it'll be fine.
1 minute later.
Yeah, maybe get a 2 amp. Let's talk about the sound. Well, do you know what? I think it sounds pretty damn good. Now I put it up against my Yamaha S2700, and that, in its day, it's getting on a bit now, it's probably 50 to 20 years old. But that was Yamaha's flagship DVD SACD CD player at the time. And at the time that cost over £1,000 to buy. So adjusted for inflation, it's probably 1,500 to 2 grand today. So a very top spec player. I know you think it's unfair to compare that to this, but I did, right? And what I did is I ran an audio capture device out of the back of each CD player into my PC and recorded it using Audacity and saving as a WAV file to get the best possible copy. Now, I won't say any more. Have a listen and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hoi! So what do you think? This isn't bad, is it, eh? Now, if I had to really lean in to compare these two with headphones on, okay? Going back and forth with each audio I recorded. And I would say the Yamaha is ever so slightly better, a little bit better in the highs and lows. I think the Yamaha was just ever so slightly better right away across the frequencies. But I'm talking tiny margins here. And I'm not surprised they sound quite similar because they're both using Cirrus Logic DACs, okay? I think it competed with the Yamaha very well indeed. It held its own. So I think it's a very decent CD player. And I can thoroughly recommend it. Again, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of it? Yeah, and I will catch you in the next one.